Say hello, everybody. I'm Vitali. I'm a voting member for the Academy of the Recording Arts. And for those of you who are not familiar with the Academy of the Recording Arts, or who they are or what they do, they host the Grammy Awards every year. Now, I'm a voting member. I'm one of the ones that get to vote on submissions. Yay me. That and $3 to buy me a cup of coffee. But some of what I'm going to tell you today is how I got to be a voting member. It's things that you need to be doing as an artist, a producer, a sound engineer. Uh, Today we're going to talk about proper liner notes and proper credits, and probably briefly touch on sales in the course of the conversation. Uh, One of the most common things that I've been running across in user groups pertaining to the music industry is from artists who don't know what to do, and uh, most of them blame the big labels. And while it'd be nice to always blame the big labels for some of these problems, it's not always the label's fault. There's things that you, as an artist, be you a performing artist, a sound engineer, a mix engineer, recording engineer, uh, a producer, beat maker, whatever. There's things that you need to be doing as an artist, and I consider all those categories artists that you need to be doing. And first and foremost is proper liner notes and proper credits. Uh, we're not going to get into all the drama that I've run into with artists or bands that come in and they work on projects, and when it comes time to do the liner notes, we're just going to use the band name and have done with it. No. Uh, for many reasons. Uh, Proper liner notes do matter. Proper credits do matter. They are extremely important. And I understand where you, as a band, are coming from. You know, just we don't want to make it about any one person, blah blah blah. But the answer is going to be no. If you're not willing to do the liner notes with uh, so and so on vocals and so on guitar and so on bass and so on drums, song written by or lyrics by, music by, produced by, recorded by, all that stuff, I ain't messing with you. And if you get tied up with a situation where they don't want to do all that, don't mess with them either. It's that simple. I don't care if it's a work for hire project. By law, you are entitled to a credit. You may not have any of the copyright, you may not make any money off the performance, but you are entitled to a liner credit as being part of that project. So you need to get it in writing. Either A, they'll give it to you, or B, they won't. Uh, and if they won't, it's either A, they're misinformed, or B, they're unethical. And it's up to us to educate those that are uninformed. And if they're unethical, we shouldn't be doing business with them anyway. You know, another common conception is that there's not a database, a general database that keeps all this information. Yes, there is, and they've been around long before the internet was. I don't remember what they were before the internet. That's okay, because now it's allmusic.com, and it has been ever since the beginning of the internet. And we'll pull that up right quick. And that's allmusic.com. Let me get me in here so y'all can see me. And we're going to cover how to submit to allmusic.com. We're going to scroll down here to the bottom of the page. We're going to click on FAQ. And an artist, right here it says, how does an artist get added to AllMusic? Well, that's pretty well the same as how does an album, because you've got to submit the album work. So we're just going to skip that and go straight to an album. And this is actually pretty easy. We're going to go to the submission page. And you are going to mail a physical copy of your commercial product, your CD, in a case with the album art and the proper liner notes to TiVo Corporation at 100 Phoenix Drive, Suite 201, Ann Arbor, Michigan. That is the easiest way to do it. That is the fastest way to do it. They have another way. You can click on the email and email them, and they'll send you a spreadsheet to use. And I highly recommend it against using the spreadsheet because it's an old spreadsheet, and I've used it before. And in newer versions of the same software it was created in, it doesn't always work properly. It's basically like an Excel spreadsheet or whatever, but it just doesn't work right sometimes. The easiest way to do it is just mail them a physical copy of your product. Like, I'm gonna pull this. This is a band Murder Monroe. These are getting mailed off tomorrow to the Academy of the Recording Arts, and this they use just these, and this is fine. Maximize your profit, but on the back you can't really see it. It's got all the proper liner notes, and you would mail this to them, or if it was in a jewel case or whatever, you would mail that to them, and they would get it all took care of for you, and you don't have to worry about it. It's that easy. Liner notes matter for many, many reasons. Like I said, uh, at least and foremost, everybody in the music business wants to see that you, the artist, is taking care of your business properly. They're not always going to tell you how to do it, but they are watching to see if you're taking care of it properly. First off, believe that or not, they are. If you've ever tried to get a record deal and been turned down, it could very well be because they felt you weren't taking care of your business. No joke. Simple things, you know. This is one of the albums that I did for Murder Monroe, and as you can see, the credits. Marilyn Benefield, she was composer, guitar and vocals. Seth Benefield was bass, composer and vocals. Taylor Jones was on guitar. Vitaly Justice, that's me. I was the mastering engineer, the mixing engineer, and the producer. I was also the recording engineer, but that's okay. Murder Monroe, a primary artist. Rob Murray was a composer and vocals. That's pretty well a basic example of proper liner notes. And we, at the time, took the time to do the proper credits on each song. So it does matter, and it does help. Going back to the Grammy Awards for a minute, or the Academy of the Recording Arts, it's been a long time since I made that other video telling people how to become a voting member of the Academy of the Recording Arts. A lot has changed since then. They have closed that door. For those that were working in the business and were paying attention, it was actually pretty easy to become a voting member. It was just certain things that you had to be doing and keeping track of it. The proper liner notes. Now, the only way you can get in the Academy is A, get a nomination for a Grammy Award, so then you're automatically eligible, or win the Grammy Award and then you're in, or the third way, the way they're doing it now, is members like me can submit up to 2 recommendations a year, and somebody else has to recommend that same person, and then it goes before a panel, and the panel looks at all their stuff and decides. So it's gotten a lot harder. We were talking, I said something about sales. Well, going back to allmusic.com, allmusic.com is who the Billboard charts uses to determine who is and is not eligible to be on the Billboard charts. It's not just that they are a sale-driven platform. I mean, where you are on the charts depends on the sales, and sales also, a lot of streams, sales on iTunes, streaming platforms, and physical media. Here's something that a lot of y'all may or may not know. How many of you, as artists and bands, are out gigging and selling merchandise at shows and selling CDs and stuff? You need to be keeping track of those CD sales and turning them in, because you could possibly be selling enough CDs in a week to be on the Billboard charts, and they just don't know. First, you need to send a copy of the CD into allmusic.com, get yourself eligible, and then you can go to Nielsen SoundScan and go down the facts to see about to find the information on how to submit your CD sales and stuff to make you eligible to be on the charts uh, because you're selling albums. Uh, Disturbed, when they released that album with the track "Sound of Silence" on it here, what was it, last year or the year before last? Made it to number one on their in their genre that week, and they'd only sold 2,500 copies of the album. I remember when you had to sell 1 million. You had to sell a shit ton of CDs to get on the charts. Now you can be doing it with 2,500 in a week. Uh, you need to be keeping track of your physical sales too, even if it's at a show. Uh, you basically what you need to do is when you place your order, keep that invoice to show that you ordered, say, 100 CDs or 1,000 CDs, whatever you ordered, and then if you sell uh, 10 on Monday night, 30 on Tuesday night, 50 on Wednesday night, or whatever, you keep track of those sales in a journal, a sales journal, uh, and you submit it to Nielsen SoundScan. That's why liner notes are important. That's why proper credits are important. And like I want to say this one more time, even if it's a work for hire, by law you're entitled to a liner note, a proper credit, and you need to insist on getting your proper credit. You need to get that all up in writing up front before anything's ever done. A legitimate studio and stuff will will be more than willing to take care of that and see that it gets done. You just need to get it in writing. Uh, I used to take everybody's word and work on a handshake, but I've got a whole bunch of credits that are not up on allmusic.com because I took other people's word that they would take care of it, and it didn't get took care of. And I've reached out to AllMusic and submitted the proper information and trying to get those fixed. But it's a long, drawn out process if you go back and trying to pick something that's already submitted. It's a whole lot easier if you just get it done right the first time. I sincerely hope that helps. This is Vitaly here at Firestorm Records, home of Red Barn Productions, and y'all have a good night.